各位来宾，总统已经抵达会场。Ladies and gentlemen, Her Excellency President 蔡英文。各位来宾，欢迎莅临由驻台北以色列经济文化办事处、德国在台协会以及台湾民主基金会所主办的2021国际犹太大屠杀纪念日活动。Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2021 International Holocaust Remembrance Day, organized by Israel Economic and Cultural Office in Taipei, German Institute Taipei, and Taiwan Foundation for Democracy。联合国大会在2005年通过，在将1月27号，也就是奥斯威辛集中营解放的周年，定为国际犹太大屠杀纪念日，以纪念在纳粹大屠杀中罹难的600万犹太人以及其他数百万的受难者。In 2005, the United Nations designated January 27th, the anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz concentration camp, as International Holocaust Remembrance Day, to honor the 6 million Jewish victims of the Holocaust and millions of other victims of Nazism. 在台湾，驻台北以色列经济文化办事处以及德国在台协会，也从2016年开始，每年都会举办纪念的活动，希望能够让台湾的社会也能够了解这段历史和人权的课题。Since 2016, the Israel Economic and Cultural Office in Taipei and German Institute Taipei have co-hosted events in Taiwan each year, not only to commemorate the International Holocaust Remembrance Day, but also for the Taiwanese societies to learn more about the Holocaust and the importance in the advancement of human rights. 今天活动一开始，首先让我们一起来欣赏由唐娜女士与大提琴家王贝文女士所带来的演出《我们的父，我们的王》。To begin with, we would like to invite Miss Na Tang to perform Avinu Malkeinu, Our Father, Our King, accompanied by Miss Pei Wen Wang on the cello. 唐娜女士是台湾知名的歌手以及演员，已经入行35年的杰出艺人。王贝文女士是知名大提琴家，毕业于茱莉亚音乐学院以及耶鲁大学，并曾在纽约卡内基音乐厅等全球知名的音乐殿堂上演出。Miss Na Tang is a well-known singer and actress in Taiwan. She has been a successful and popular entertainer for over 35 years. Miss Pei Wen Wang is a renowned cellist and graduate of the Juilliard School and Yale University, and has performed at concert venues around the world, including the Carnegie Hall. 我们的父，我们的王是一首犹太的祷文，经常在犹太新年以及赎罪日的仪式当中来演奏。Avinu Malkeinu, Our Father, Our King, is a Jewish prayer recited in Jewish services during the 10 days of repentance from the Jewish New Year through Yom Kippur. 现在就让我们一起来欣赏唐娜女士和王贝文女士所带来的演出。Please now enjoy the performance.
Avinu Malkeinu, Adam levanecha. Avinu Malkeinu, Adon Aleinu, Eliyahu Aleinu.
谢谢两位为我们带来动人的演出，请两位回座。Thank you very much for that beautiful performance by Ms. Na Tang and Ms. Peiwen Wang. 接下来我们要邀请的是台北市可巴德犹太协会的拉比 Rabbi Shlomi Tabib 来朗诵祈祷文《慈悲的神》。这首祈祷文通常是在丧礼或纪念仪式当中来诵祷，为的是安慰死者的灵魂。Next, we would like to invite Rabbi Shlomi Tabib, President of Chabad Taiwan Jewish Center, to recite a Jewish prayer, Maleh Lahamin, Merciful God. This prayer is for the soul of a person who has passed away, usually recited at the graveside during the burial service and memorial services. 接下来我们就邀请 Rabbi Tabib 朗诵祈祷文。Rabbi, please.
אל מלא רחמים, שוכן במרומים, המצא מנוחה נכונה על כנפי השכינה, במעלות קדושים וטהורים, כזוהר הרקיע מזהירים את כל הנשמות של 6 מיליוני היהודים, חללי השואה באירופה, שנהרגו, שנשחטו, שנשרפו ושנספו על קידוש השם בידי המרצחים הגרמנים הנאצים ועוזריהם משאר העמים, יימח שמם לכן בעל הרחמים. יסתירם בסתר כנפל לעולמים ויצור ביצור החיים את נשמותם אדוני הוא נחלתם וגן עדן תהא מנוחתם ויעמדו לגורלם לקץ הימין ונאמר אמן.
Thank you very much to Rabbi Tabib. 紧接着我们要进行点烛仪式，来纪念2次世界大战期间遭到屠杀的600万犹太人。We will now light 6 candles in memory of the 6 million Jews who were murdered during the Holocaust. To begin with, we would like to invite Representative of Israel, Mr. Omer Caspi, to light the first candle. 首先，让我们邀请驻台北以色列经济文化办事处柯思毕代表来点亮第一根蜡烛。代表夫人的祖父也是大屠杀的受难者。柯代表点亮这根蜡烛，为的是纪念他。The first candle Representative Caspi lit up is in memory of Moshe Michael Hakohen, grandfather of his wife Galit, who perished in the Holocaust. May his memory be blessed. Thank you very much. Please remain on the stage. And for the second candle, we would like to invite Dr. Thomas Prinz, General Director of German Institute Taipei. 再来，请德国在台协会王子陶处长点亮第2根蜡烛。Thank you very much. Please remain on the stage. 接下来，请台湾民主基金会董事长暨立法院游锡堃院长点亮第3根蜡烛。For the third candle, we would like to invite Chairman of Taiwan Foundation for Democracy and Speaker of the Legislative Yuan, Mr. 游锡堃。谢谢。再来，让我们邀请外交部吴釗燮部长点亮第4根蜡烛。For the fourth candle, we would like to invite Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. 釗燮 Joseph Wu. Thank you. 谢谢部长。For the fifth candle, we would like to invite Rabbi Shlomi Tabib. 接下来邀请 Shlomi Tabib Labi 来点亮第5根蜡烛。Thank you, Rabbi. 接下来恭请蔡英文总统点亮第6根蜡烛。For the sixth candle, we would like to invite Her Excellency President 蔡英文。谢谢总统，请总统留步。我们接下来要进行合影。We will now take a group photo. We'd like to invite Rabbi Leon Fenster to the stage to join the group photo. 我们邀请台北市犹太教会的 Leon Fenster Labi 一起上台合影。请大家一起看中间走道的摄影镜头。Please look at the camera in the center aisle. 再来，请看后方的媒体朋友。Please look at the cameras in the back. 谢谢各位贵宾，请总统先回座。谢谢，请各位贵宾回座。Thank you very much. Please take your seats. 刚才以色列、德国和台湾的代表们为我们点亮了6根蜡烛，一方面纪念2次世界大战期间遭受屠杀的600万犹太人，另一方面也向幸存者和受害者的家人来致意。The 6 candles lit by representatives from Israel, Germany, and Taiwan are not only to honor the 6 million Jews who were murdered during the World War II, but also pay respect to the survivors and families of the Holocaust victims. 接下来，让我们邀请德国在台协会王子陶处长上台致辞。And next, we would like to invite Dr. Thomas Prinz, General Director of German Institute Taipei, to give us some remarks.
Excellency President Tsai, Speaker and Chairman Xi Kun-yu, Foreign Minister Wu, Representative Omer Caspi, President Wang Yongling. Ladies and gentlemen, learn from the past, protect the future. Germany strives to live up to this ideal. We do not want to forget what happened, and we will not forget what can happen. This is why it is so important this year, as every year, that we commemorate the victims of the Holocaust, not only in Israel and Germany, but in many places around the world. Also here in Taiwan, with a memorial event organized by the Israel Economic and Cultural Office in Taipei, the Taiwan Foundation for Democracy, and the German office. The greatest danger for all of us begins with forgetting, with no longer remembering what we inflict upon one another when we tolerate anti-Semitism and racism in our midst. We must remain alert, must identify prejudice and conspiracy theories, and combat them with reason, passion, and resolve. In Germany last year, we have learned again that each and every one of us must play their part in protecting our Jewish fellow citizens from threats, abuse, and violence. There shall not be an end to remembrance. This responsibility is woven into the very fabric of the Federal Republic of Germany from day one. When we commemorate the Holocaust Memorial Day in Germany, our hearts are filled with gratitude for the hands of the survivors stretched out to us, for the new trust given to us by people in Israel and across the world, for Jewish life flourishing in Germany and around the world. In this context, I especially appreciate the testimony of Avraham Aviel, who vulnerably will share his hardships with us today. My soul is moved by the spirit of reconciliation, the spirit which opened up a new and peaceful path for Germany and Israel. Sometimes I was asked why we commemorate the Holocaust Memorial Day also in Taiwan, a country far away from the atrocities committed by the Nazi regime. My answer is that remembering the crime of the Holocaust gives us all the chance to reflect on the conditions of peace and human rights, on the value of democracy, press freedom, judicial independence, the protection of minorities. These are the values we have to stand for, values we should never take for granted. That is the reason why Taiwan, a democracy in this very specific international environment, is a good place to commemorate the Holocaust Memorial Day. Looking to the future, remembering the victims of the Holocaust means saying, never again. That is the essence of our enduring responsibility. Let us come together today to remember, listen to the testimonies, and most importantly, strive for a world without genocide, a world of acceptance and justice. President Tsai, ladies and gentlemen, I'm grateful that we make this commitment together today, a world that remembers the Holocaust, a world without genocide. Learn from the past, protect the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Prinz. Please take your seat. 接下来我们要邀请的是驻台北以色列经济文化办事处柯思毕代表上台致辞。And next, we would like to invite to the stage Mr. Omer Caspi, representative of Israel Economic and Cultural Office in Taipei, to give us some remarks.
Your Excellency, President Dr. Tsai Ing-wen, Chairman of Taiwan Foundation for Democracy and Speaker of the Legislative Yuan, Mr. Yoshi Kun, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Joseph Wu, President of Taiwan Foundation for Democracy, Mr. Yulin Huang, Director General of the German Institute Taipei, Mr. Thomas Prinz, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great honor that I stand here today representing the State of Israel on the occasion of the International Holocaust Remembrance Day in Taiwan. I would like to thank Her Excellency President Dr. Tsai Ing-wen for honoring us with her presence here. On June 26, 1941, after 4 days of brutal fighting, the German army entered the city of Ostrog in today's Ukraine and occupied it. Over the course of the next 14 months, almost all of the 10,000 Jews who lived in Ostrog for centuries were executed by the Nazis and their Ukrainian collaborators. This was before the beginning of the systematic extermination of Jews in concentration camps and gas chambers. The Jews of Ostrog were shot by machine guns. Their bodies were dumped in mass graves that were dug at the outskirts of the city. Among them were my great-grandfather, Shimshon Perlmutter, and his wife, my great-grandmother, Dina. They were murdered during the first round of the executions on August 4, 1941, together with 3,000 Jewish men, women, and children. To me, a proud Israeli who was born and raised in an independent state, who served in the army defending his country, who stands here as a diplomat representing Israel, the state of the Jewish people, it is hard to accept such an atrocity. It is hard to imagine that only 80 years ago, my people, my family members, were helplessly slaughtered. But so it happened. It happened indeed, and it is our shared responsibility as human beings to make sure that such atrocities will never happen again. This is not an easy task. One of the key factors which enabled the Nazis to perpetrate their vicious acts of terror against the Jews was indifference. The indifference of their neighbors, the indifference of their friends and colleagues, the indifference of the rest of the world. The Jews were left alone to die with no one to stand by their side. The danger of indifference is still here, among us. Over the past few years, we have seen a sharp increase in the number of anti-Semitic attacks against Jews around the globe. Naturally, we pay attention to the most violent and extreme attacks, which are usually condemned in a loud and clear voice. But there are also thousands of lesser incidents occurring on a daily basis. Those incidents went just about unnoticed. Those incidents were almost indifferently accepted. Elie Wiesel, a Holocaust survivor and a Nobel Peace Prize laureate, said, "I swore never to be silent whenever and wherever human beings endure suffering and humiliation. We must always take sides. Neutrality helps the oppressor, never the victim. Silence encourages the terminator, never the tormented." And it is true, we should not allow history to repeat itself. But how we prevent this from happening? By remembering ourselves and reminding others about the horrors of the Holocaust. By educating the next generations about the lessons learned from this colossal human tragedy. By hearing and recording the stories of those who survived. By taking sides and never being silent. In Israel, Holocaust remembrance is part of our collective DNA, but it is certainly not obvious for the rest of the world. This is why Israel initiated and promoted in 2005 the UN resolution designating a special international day for Holocaust remembrance. And it is why our office initiated 5 years ago the annual Holocaust commemoration ceremonies in Taiwan, together with the German Institute. This year it is our great honor to hold this ceremony for the first time, together with the Taiwan Foundation of Democracy, which took upon itself the task of partnering with us in this important mission. I think it is a significant step forward. For me, it reflects the importance Taiwan sees in preserving the memory of the Holocaust and its victims, and we deeply appreciate this gesture. We have a moral obligation to educate, especially the younger generation, but also in making sure we develop and support academic research, educational and commemorative engagement with the subject of the Holocaust. Teaching and learning about the Holocaust provides an essential opportunity to inspire societal awareness and personal growth. In the past 2 years, our office has expanded its activities promoting Holocaust remembrance and education in Taiwan. Along the way, we found many willing partners who are interested in collaborating with us and with Yad Vashem, the World Holocaust Remembrance Center in Jerusalem. Some of them are here with us today, and we thank them for their cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, Dina and Shimshon Perelmuter had 5 children. 3 of them, my grandfather Zalman and his 2 sisters, Sonia and Dvora, managed to escape to the east just before the Nazis arrived in Ostrov. I was told recently that until his very last day, my grandfather could not forgive himself for leaving his parents and brothers behind. It anguished him gravely, and he had painful guilt feelings about it. However, Zalman had no choice but to collect the fragments of his shattered life. He married, and after 1948, he moved with his family to Israel. His firstborn baby girl, my mother, was named Dina, after his beloved mother, who was murdered by the Nazis 80 years ago on a sunny summer day in Ostrov.
Thank you very much to Mr. Representative. 刚才在代表的致辞当中提到，我们不应该让历史重演，这也是为什么我们今天在台北举行这个纪念会的活动，希望能够让台湾的人民更认识这段历史，汲取历史的教训，也珍惜得来不易的民主和自由。接下来就让我们恭请蔡英文总统上台致辞。Next, Her Excellency President Tsai Ing-wen will share a few words with us.
Representative Caspi, Director General Prinz, Chairman and Speaker Yu, Minister Wu, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I want to start by thanking the Israel Economic and Cultural Office in Taipei, the German Institute Taipei, and the Taiwan Foundation for Democracy for co-organizing this important event. I'm proud that the Taiwan Foundation for Democracy is helping host this event for the first time this year. And as the leader of the country in the process of pursuing transitional justice and historical truth, I'm grateful to have this opportunity to once again reflect on the Holocaust and pay tribute to its victims. Each year we gathered with the international community to remember those who perished in the Holocaust, as well as the sufferings of all the parents, children, families, and friends touched by this tragedy. We're here today to reaffirm our commitment that is never to forget their stories. It is only by sharing the memories of these individuals that we can reflect on the lessons of this dark moment in the history. The scars of the Holocaust continue to remind us of our responsibility to ensure such a tragedy never happens again. For us in Taiwan, this responsibility starts with confronting and understanding Taiwan's authoritarian past. It demands that we work diligently to protect human rights, and it requires that we never compromise our commitment to democracy. To pass these lessons on to future generations, our government's Transitional Justice Commission continues to explore the oppressions of authoritarian rules in Taiwan. By preserving records from that era and making them available to the public, the Commission is advancing Taiwan's effort to seek historical truth and redress. In August last year, the National Human Rights Commission started its work to bring Taiwan's human rights protections in line with international standards, while driving human rights awareness across government agencies. The Taiwan Foundation for Democracy is also collaborating with civil society organizations and academia, both at home and abroad, to improve human rights and advocate for democracy. Our efforts reflect Taiwan's determination to address the past and promote transitional justice, democratic principles, and human rights. But Protecting human rights is not just a matter of national policy. Today, across the world, we are facing a resurgence of authoritarianism, populism, and extremism. This worrisome trend highlights the importance of global cooperation to advance human rights and democracy. Taiwan is and will be an active participant in these partnerships. As part of our international human rights outreach, Taiwan joined with Auschwitz-Birkenau Foundation last December to promote preservation of Auschwitz concentration camp memorial site. We hope this project can help keep the memories of Holocaust victims alive for future generations. In addition, Taiwan is proactively working with our international partners to advance religious freedom, gender equality, and women's rights. Through bilateral, multilateral, and civil society initiatives, Taiwan will continue to be a force for good and a strong advocate for freedom and democracy. The Holocaust remembrance events that the Representative Office of Israel and Germany hosts in Taiwan every year are an important symbol of reconciliation and peaceful coexistence. We in Taiwan are honored to play a part in hosting this event. And this occasion reminds us of all the work we have yet to do. Taiwan will never forget its past, and together with international community, we will strive to realize a better, more inclusive and peaceful future. Thank you very much.
谢谢蔡总统。总统里有要恭，需要先行离席。我们今天非常感谢总统亲临今天的纪念会活动，让我们恭送总统离场。Ladies and gentlemen, President Tsai has to leave due to other engagements. We thank President Tsai for attending the event today. 接下来要邀请大家来观看一部短片，介绍犹太大屠杀的幸存者亚伯拉罕·阿维尔的见证。Now we will play a short film presenting the testimony of the Holocaust survivor Avraham Avieh.